All right, so I'm looking at my Will It Work layout. So I've got all of my parts laid out on the same Z-axis. And we created our drawing of everything that's here in drawing 2. So I've got just my parts all laid out here, set for the laser. So I go ahead and I right-click on drawing 2 and I tell it to export. Give it my name. As an SVG file, and download and store in a new tab. Export out. All right. It's done, and it'll show up down here in just a moment. There it is. And we're going to send this to, you can send it to the downloads. You could also send it to your desktop. It really, as long as you know where the file is going, that's the most important part. And I'm going to go ahead and say save. And when it's done, I'm going to come up and I'm going to click on the file up here. So now, oh, there it is. Great. I need to open up Inkscape. So I'm going to do Command Spacebar. Bring this up and type in INK. You should see Inkscape. It's got this little black and white topped mountain in the distance. We'll open that up. So now that I'm in Inkscape, I'm going to go ahead and open my file. Go to my open an existing document. And there it is. It went right to my desktop. I'm going to open that up. Sometimes you got to click twice in that same spot. I'm not certain why, but sometimes when it seems like a menu is just sort of hanging there, click on that point again. All right, first thing I need to do, see right now everything is one big piece, which is great, but if you see over here, we've now got this background piece hiding in the background. We don't want that, so I'm going to right-click, and I am going to ungroup this whole thing. You could also do Shift-Command-G if that's your sense, but I'll just do that. And I'm going to click on the outside of my part. So I'm not going inside an individual part. I'm just clicking outside. So I've selected the background, and I press delete. Gone. Now I'm going to select all of my objects. And I'm going to come up over here, and I'm looking for this icon right here. This is my fill and stroke. Fill is the inside between these solid lines. Stroke would be the ability to put a trace on the outside edges. What we care about is the fill should be nothing. But the stroke, we want filled in, and we want this 255 red. Make sure you're in RGB. If you're looking at this and you see CMYK, you're in the wrong spot. You just need to change what color system the file is using. So I'm leaving that. I've got a stroke 255 red, 0 green, 0 blue, and 100% on this is called the alpha. That's the opacity, or opacity. Last piece, I need to come over here to the stroke style, and I need to change this to 0.065 millimeters. It's going to feel like next to nothing. Once I press enter, these lines are going to get really thin, and that's okay. The laser speaks the language of lines and colors. It needs to know that this line is a teeny tiny outside line made for cutting, and it needs to know that it's this color, that it's specifically for cutting. The laser can recognize, I think it's up to 32 different colors that we can program it to respond with different speeds and different powers. For our purposes right now, the key thing is that these are red. We're ready to cut them out, and we can save this file to a thumb drive. So I'm going to say File, Save As. Grab my thumb drive. In it goes. And I'm going to need to come down here to this slash line. It's going to be a weird spot. Most of you have probably never dealt with a concept of root. So I'm going to that slash. And then I'm going to go over to volumes. And this one is labeled as no name. That's going to be your thumb drive. You might also have one that is labeled with the classroom number and the thumb drive number. That would be fine as well. But I'm going to go ahead and say save there. And now I'm ready to take this file over to the laser and cut it out.